And we are live, so welcome to anybody that does happen to pop in. This is going to be, let me adjust this just a hair. This is just a pop up surprise live. So we'll see if the notifications go out and if anybody joins. Uh, I had everything kind of written down. I was going to do a just a regular video as I do normally. But things started kind of popping off, and I was holding off just in case to see if anybody, if any news came and broke. And then, of course, the Orlando Prepper went live. So I had to stop and make sure that I tuned in and watched him so I could support him because we always support the Orlando Prepper. And I appreciate the shout out that he gave. So, anybody that pops in, I will give you a quick shout out. I'm going to be hopefully pretty short with this one, and we will get through it and try and go back to our regular ones. So, welcome to everybody. And if you catch us on the replay, I know this is a surprise pop up live. So I appreciate you if you do pop in for the replay. And with that, let's just jump straight into this so that way we can kind of get through everything. So, first on the list is that, and I apologize, some of this is going to be a little bit redundant if you was in last night's live, but the U.S. has announced that they are considering to revoke the Houthi designation on the terrorist list if they agree to do the uh, basically stopping the attacks in and around the Red Sea. Now, really, on this, and this is again kind of an opinionated piece on this. This just goes to prove that operation, whatever it is that they were doing over there, is a complete and utter failure right from the get go. It's just one of them things. Now, keep in mind, as long as this has been going on, the attacks have slowed down, and really that's probably because there's a lot of ships that have rerouted or done different things, and so there's not a whole lot of targets. Now that there seems to be the U.S. wanting to go in and negotiate. Hey, we'll do this if you do this. I look to see that those are going to start ramping up. So we'll see how that kind of goes out into the future. Now, rumors have started to spread that Israel has started to empty its embassies kind of around the world. And they said that they're doing this out of fear that Iran is going to retaliate for the strike that happened. Now, the rumors turned out to be true as Israel media started to confirm this. So, looks like they are starting to kind of take it serious that there might be getting a little bit of a retaliation. And if you start to look at social media just to kind of see if there's some more confirmations of this, there is pictures and videos that is now coming out that shows that people are starting to hit the streets. There's a lot more traffic jams. Stores are starting to be emptied and different things like that. So we'll see. There's pictures and everything of bomb shelters being opened and whatnot. So we'll have to wait and see if all this stuff does pan out. Now, the big thing though is if you didn't catch it, the U.S. Secretary of State, Mr. Blinken, basically came out and I'm going to kind of not quote it, but kind of do it in my own words here. Is that basically if Israel doesn't do an immediate change and they don't see it, then the U.S. is going to change its policy and its stance towards Israel. It's pretty big words, so we'll have to wait and see what happens on that. Apparently, and again, this could all be smoke and mirrors. This could all just be, anything. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We only know what we're kind of told and what we're shown. So you just have to take it with a grain of salt and see how things actually come out and unfold with everything. But we'll see. This might be a show of, hey, we're abandoning our friend to see what actually comes out. This might just be an intelligence thing. So again, we'll wait and see. The big thing though is that there is some other people that's taking this serious, as the UAE has come out and officially said that they are suspending all diplomatic relations with Israel due to them and their strike on the aid workers. They said that they didn't like what was going on between Israel and Gaza, but the aid workers ordeal was crossing a red line that's unforgivable. So They are completely just going to cut all relations, and that's kind of a big deal. And then the last thing on that is that Israel has come out and they have said that they want all doctors, healthcare workers, aides, and things like that to report back to institutions and start to prepare, as well as the Israeli Minister of Education has put out a statement telling the Israeli schools to start preparing for distance learning. So it looks like, at least on the surface, they feel that something's about to happen and they're trying to get their citizens and get all the people a little bit prepared. And it's going to be one of them things. Will something happen? Is this going to be a slap in the face? There's a lot of things going back and forth. There's a lot of words that's being thrown around. And, it's going to depend on what actually happens. Israel has already said that if they strike our sovereign soil, that we're going to retaliate. And it's one of those things that an eye for an eye and everybody's blind. So we will have to, see how all this goes. It's one of those ones. Iran's probably not the one that's just going to turn the other cheek and look the other way. There has been some things where they've already done that, but I don't know about this time. This time seems to be a little bit more of a serious thing, but you never know. Okay, you never know what's going to happen. Next, I kind of barely caught this, but the Venezuela president, Mr. Maduro, came out and officially accused the U.S. of building a secret military slash CIA base down there. They said that there was doing it under the guise of the kind of like an oil production down there, and that they've uncovered some sort of plans that they were building this and they were going to cause disruption in Venezuela. So, if they can produce evidence, that's kind of a big deal. We'll see how that kind of transpires and what comes out of that. I barely caught this one, so I don't know if that's going to hit mainstream news. I don't know if anybody else is going to talk about that one. It's quite interesting, and it looks like it's kind of been stopped. So there may not be any more to that one. And then next, we did talk about the earthquake in Taiwan and all the separate after shocks and the tremors and different things. Just keep in mind there has been a lot of people that's talked about it, so we won't spend too much time. But they are the semiconductor place of the world, and so what that's going to do is it's going to raise prices. It's going to cause supply chain issues. It's going to cause shortages and things like that. Everything right now seems to have a semiconductor in it. It's going to take a little while to feel that, especially the way things are going. But the way that supply chain's already disrupted, it may not take as long as what a lot of people think it may take. So we will have to again wait and see how all that comes about. And it doesn't have to be the semiconductor plants. I saw somebody last night or this morning. They were saying there's no anything to the semiconductors because all the semiconductor plants are fine. Yeah, okay, but you have all the people that are displaced, all your workers, all your people that they may have been injured, or you may have ways that you can't get them out of your factory. Maybe the road to your factory got destroyed. There's a lot of reasons. A lot happened over there, and we're only going to get what is going to be released to us. So yeah, right there. Rumors of wars, quakes, shadows. Yep. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What else do we got? So we have the U.S. Army and the U.S. Air Force put out a call for retirees just to return to active duty. Um, we'll see. I don't know if there's too much behind that one. I know there's a lot of people that has gone through and said, "Hey, there it is. There's your last and final straw before they start going through and forcing everybody." I don't know about that. I think that's just another way that since recruiting is so far down, that they're just trying to get their numbers up. I could be wrong, and very well, might be wrong on that one, but I don't see it. I don't see it quite yet. Now, I will give it credit that there is some things going on. So there is the really big NATO exercise, and there is actual pictures and military sources that have come out and shown there is a massive number of military ambulances and different other military health sort of vehicles and whatnot that got kind of like emergency shipped over to Europe. And they're all saying that, oh, this is for the exercise. It's a little odd. Um, I don't know why you would need a ton of military medical stuff to rush over for an exercise that's supposedly been planned. Again, we've talked about this before. If the people that do conspiracy theories are so bad, quit giving them ammunition. Okay, if you want to have it to where there is, almost no conspiracy theory, be clear, concise, be transparent, tell the truth, back it up with data, make sure it's completely 100% provable. Because when you go, here's a secret exercise, yeah, we're doing it, and no, you're not allowed to know. Human nature, people's going to connect their own dots. Okay. And whether they're right, they're wrong, whatever it is, if you cannot come out and fully disprove them, you're just going to have theory upon theory upon theory, and one of them's bound to be right. So let's continue on. So we did talk about this also last night. Is the U.S. Strategic Petroleum Reserve has now hit the lowest it's pretty much ever been. They're estimating that there's only 17 days of oil left into the reserve. And then to really put salt in the wound, the White House announced that they have canceled the refill order, citing prices are too high. And this comes out a little bit ago that they have released that the price of oil is now over $91 a barrel. I wonder why. When you take and you strike an oil rich nation, and there's fears and rumors that your oil populace of the world might be going to war. Yeah, oil is probably going to rise, and especially with everything. You got the Monday solar thing that's going to happen that made price, at least here around me, jump 20 cents in a day. So things are going to start happening. You got spring coming up, so summer blend isn't that far off. That makes fuel go up. There's a lot going on all over the place. Fuel is just going to continue to rise. So it looks like we got some more people in here. So it looks like, and I apologize because normally I'm on the other platform, and so I get to see your name. On this one, the names are a little different. So it looks like Dead End Homestead is here. David's here. We've got JS Genesis Designs. Appreciate it. Shalom, brother. Glad to see you here. Texas Raider, welcome. Awesome. Great to see you here. And let's see, let's finish it up with the last one. So, the largest fresh egg producer in the United States has announced that they have halted production in Texas after the bird flu that was found out. And they have announced that they have basically called almost 2 million chickens. Now, this came after. What was it? The one human case that came from being around raw milk, that they also found the disease into the cow industry down there. There's a lot of rumors that's going to happen of what's going on down there in the cow industry. And then also they have come out and announced that there are now officially cows in Ohio that has tested positive for H5N1. So that is very interesting stuff in the news. There is a lot going on. Again, one of the reasons why I did a surprise pop up and not, doing my normal stuff is because all of a sudden a lot of my source stuff started to really just ramp up. I started getting notification after notification. Some of it was silly stuff. They were talking about UFOs in the sky over top of Iran. Uh, that was just silliness. So I had to try and weed through that. But they were talking about a lot of drone strikes and potential missile strikes. And here we go. This is it. This is what's, here comes the retaliation and whatnot. And so I was like, okay, let's hang back. Let's hang back. And it seems as of me, pressing start, I left all my stuff in the other room, even though I can hear my notifications going off like crazy. So far, I don't see anything happened as of yet. My guess is it probably won't until tomorrow night, sometime this week, and it's usually when craziness happens. Again, I have no idea. Fingers crossed, nothing happens. Let's see. What happened to them all getting Rona didn't work out, so they changed it. Yeah, uh, and we'll see. There is a lot of talk, and if you go back and you hit the Wayback Machine, kind of at the start of all of this, years not that long ago, but Russia did come out and formally accuse when they said that there was what do you want to call it, labs over there in Ukraine, and that the U.S. was monkeying with stuff, and that they listed out a couple, and one of them was avian flu. So it's quite interesting. Now, granted, that could be just absolute sheer luck, but it's one of those ones. I did see that there was an article that somebody put out that says that the uh, jumping from avian to human could make it 100 times more potent. So again, and I'm watching. I know that JS and I think Texas, you were over there in the Orlando Preppers when he was talking about the cyber attacks. When the government releases that it's all going to happen at once, they were talking about cyber attacks in that article, and I was reading that article. I think it's going to go a step further. I think it's going to be all things, meaning all, not just cyber. I think it's going to be cyber attacks. I think you're going to have Black Flag. You're going to have just all sorts of things just hit all at once. You're going to have way more examples than I care to go through and try and do everything. So my hay supplier has a golden barn calls all the callings. Yeah, yeah. uh and I don't know, I actually talked to and I hate to do this because it's that whole he said she said, I heard from a friend, but I talked to one of the local farmers who said, they had somebody that they were talking to that lives in another state, but they farm, and that's how they communicate and all that. But they said that they actually received a notice from, yes, that gave them money if they would, call some animals, or let their field go dormant for a year. Um, and I saw some stories along that kind of went along and agreed with that. Again, nothing that I can do to prove it, so I've kind of left that out of everything. But I don't put it past anything. The most dangerous that you can possibly be is to be self-sufficient. There's all them ones that they go out and they wanna pop online and they wanna get on TikTok and all the other things, and they wanna say, "Yo, I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna be this rebel and I'm gonna spray paint this and break some glass," and that's how you rebel. No, the correct way to stand up is to make sure that you do not need anything. You are fully self-sufficient. If you are not dependent, that right there, that makes it to where, you really can't be touched. So let's see. Hello and blessings to all. Hello, Alicia. Great to see you. One Vision. Excellent to see you back. I haven't seen you for a little bit. Great to see you. Heard the same. Okay, great. Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's hard to keep up with everything, especially it's gotten to the point. Let me see if I can do this. Um, I'm starting to get notebook after notebook after notebook because I've got to do local news, news across over here, and then separate it into what's war news, what's health news, and I try and keep them to that point to where I can kind of backtrack and go, okay, I was talking about this, Monday and Tuesday. It's kind of fell off. It's been a week or two. I need to go back and revisit my notes. There's a lot. Plus, when it goes into this, uh, when little Earl grows up, this is history books. Okay, nobody's going to come and censor this. This right here is dated in my handwriting, and we can go back through and read that. If an EMP strikes, guess what? I have history written down. I can go back through and start teaching history as we rebuild the world. So it's just a little thing. Hopefully, none of that happens, and this will just be a great memoir when I'm 70 years old and sipping whiskey on the front porch. Hopefully, so we'll see how that goes. Watched your replays. I missed a bunch of your lives. It's okay. Life gets there. I missed a bunch of my own lives. So things happen. We've got a bunch of severe weather going on. There's a lot of craziness going on. I have been dealing with craziness, and life just happens. That's the way it goes. And when we talk about being in the prepping community, life happens, and that's where a lot of people seem to not get into that. You have to enjoy the little things. You have to take a step back. Your mental health and your mental acuity, your mental toughness. That is an extremely important thing. You can be one of those ones where you have all the gear, all the gadgets, all the food, water, knowledge, and everything. But if you can't handle the stress when it actually becomes game time, think about that just for a second. Can you remember somebody that is really, really smart, but they failed tests? They couldn't handle the stress? Or when you guys were playing, some sort of sport or something, let's just say that you were playing horse or, just some sort of whatever game, and they could hit all sorts of shots and they were doing tricks and everything else, but when it came game time, they were horrible. Yeah. Okay. Think about that when it comes to prepping. There's people out there right now that they can go through and show you skill after skill and all this, stuff that they can do and what they've got. But my fear is that when the balloon goes up, how are you really going to do it? That's where training comes in. It gets you that muscle memory, and it gets you that time to where you're actually being put into a simulated situation to where you know how to react. You don't just freak out. And that comes into, it's that fight, flight, or freeze. And with the training and with everything that you can put yourself into, because remember, when it comes to, I'm going to go buy a firearm, do I buy a high point or do I buy a Kimber? Okay, well, that's for your decision. Just remember, the greatest investment you can possibly make is into yourself. So let's see. Got 7 inches of snow. I'm so sorry. We didn't get snow. It fell for a second, but I'm really sorry. I hate snow. Good night, David. Great to see you here. Got snow, drove all the way to Iowa. Ouch, man. Hats off to you on that. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I get made fun of a lot. If you hate snow, why do you live in Ohio? I trust me. I ask myself that every winter. But then again, I don't do well when they're really, really hot. And so, I'm not going to do good out in the West. You guys out there in Arizona and Texas, that huge 100-degree plus humid, or it's probably not even humid out there, that dry heat. I'm good. I'll be sitting right here in that 75-degree out there in the garden enjoying life. So uh, that's where that goes. So all right. I went on for, and I was shooting for 20 minutes. So we got 23 minutes. Does anybody have anything else that they want to say, talk about, question, anything? And actually, I was joking with one of the other members the other night because they say, every time that you go live, you always say that you can ask anything prepping related or otherwise. And they said, has anybody asked you any personal questions? And I go, you know what? I've taken offense because nobody's even asked me like what my favorite dinosaur is or something like that. So, which is a joke. I don't know if I even have a favorite dinosaur. Phoenix isn't dry heat anymore, but it still ended up back home. And that's some of you guys that drive that you live in Texas and you're like, oh, I'm going up to Maine. I don't know how you do it. Okay. I don't know how you do it. So, and the people out there, one of these days we might do a little thing just to see whatever if everybody wants to share kind of a broad occupation of what you do, because it's people like Genesis where you are transporting, you are helping people, whether people want to go through and agree with it or not, you're doing a service. Yes, you're getting paid for it and things like that, but people need product, people need goods and things like that, and it's providing a service. You are helping people. Um, let's see. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Thank you, Scorpion Metals. Great to see you here, and thank you for the coins. Always great work that you do, and I've been catching a lot of your stuff that you've been posting over there on Facebook. So anybody that has not gone over and checked out Scorpion Metals, please go check him out on Facebook and YouTube. Does really, really great, amazing work. Has a really great wealth of knowledge. So, and then real quick before I close out, I'm going to be putting together the contest. So I have been in contact with Caleb House. We were emailing last night and today, talking about how we're going to do it. We'll probably actually do a couple of things between maybe a contest, an actual auction, and things like that. So there is going to be more that comes out about it. This is all kind of in that very early planning stages. The contest will definitely be first, and then maybe in a month or so we'll probably try and plan for an auction. We'll see how that goes. But I'll give you guys more details and things like that. I told you we got some exciting things coming up, and it's going to be really great to be able to help and give back and things like that. And Caleb House means a lot. So we will see how much we can do to help Caleb House. So with all that, waiting for your knife, well, it's behind me, and you're not going to want to miss when I go through and tell you, because there may or may not be more knives coming that's being donated for this. So uh, you may want to stick around for that, because I got a sneak peek of something that might be coming my way. That'll be for you guys. And I'm again, I'm a little jealous. Okay, I kind of want some of these. So I don't know. I might have to put up a poll and go, can I enter my own contest? So we'll see. Maybe something will happen, and maybe I'll end up with a really cool blade myself. So all right, guys, if you made it to this far in the video, guess what? You rock. I appreciate you so much. Make sure that you check out some of the people that's here in the comments, because we love to network and support each other. You guys are absolutely amazing, each and in your own way. You guys do the things that you do. You guys are always good people. You guys come and hang out and you support. Make sure that you share this out. We're going to be doing a bunch of contests, a bunch of things to help out charities and things like that. We'll be doing a bunch of interviews and different panels and things like that. I've got a lot of things in the works. It's all going to come together at some point. So we'll see how all that works out. But I hope you guys have an amazing and blessed night. Make sure that you guys stay safe. I will see you again tomorrow for Fridays. And with that, I wanted to remind you guys, above everything else, please remember to remain united, because we're all prepping in this together.